What's happening? 1 2 1 2 1 2. We're back again. What's happening? Welcome to His Mind Podcast. What's happening, fellas? Miss Scarlett, how you doing?
Living my best life.
Living your best life as you do. Man, oh man. Today, we on it. Zizi Mills, the lovely Miss Zizi Mills. I'm a big fan of her work. I think what she's done and how she's built her career is phenomenal.
No, she's
she really
cold.
fought and built and became a voice in the culture.
She's that UK 100%. Oprah.
You know, by God's grace. Do you know what I'm saying?
I hope she does become that.
Yeah, I'm saying. So, but she said something important. I love it, yeah. When the women tell the other women what we've been saying, we're like, fine, someone thank you.
Yeah.
Basically, she said, if that man is not ready for a relationship, and he said he's not on it, no matter how many relationship stuff he's doing, you're not going to get the relationship.
Facts.
That is true.
Yep.
Let's just start there. Before we go a step further, that is true. Yeah? So, what's your take on, why do you think women don't adhere to those things if the man says he's not ready for a relationship, he doesn't want to be in one? Where's the confusion, do you think?
I think
I was going to say, should I start here?
Right, yeah.
Honorably, she should start.
Oh, she's ready to jump in for the ladies.
I know, she's ready to. And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, go.
Right, go ahead.
Let's get 'em.
I would say, although you're saying you're not ready for a relationship, your actions are saying you're ready for a relationship. You're completely, it's like two conflicting things there. You're saying one thing,
Right.
You're doing a different. So
example, like
are
what?
we meant to then think, are we meant to trust your word or are we meant to trust your actions?
Trust your word.
But then your
If a woman
actions.
says to us, yeah, I'm not in it for a relationship, somehow men will understand.
No,
that.
but then
Like,
it's
okay.
always, it goes back to that saying, actions speak louder than words.
Yeah.
But they don't.
But they don't when someone's. I get what you mean.
No, I think she's right.
No,
yeah.
I get what she means. What I'm saying is, actions speak louder words for sure. But in reality, I'm not ignoring when you're telling me something as well. So if you're telling me you don't want to be with me, I don't care about your actions at the point because you just said something to me. This is the thing about listening. If someone's telling me, I don't care how you act. If you're telling me you don't want to be with me, why am I not looking at your action? But let's look at those actions. Let's see how hard it is. What am I supposed to do?
I don't.
Wait, listen what I'm saying. So you get my point. What am I supposed to do? Let's say I don't want to be in a relationship with a woman. So I should stop being nice to you? I should stop taking you out? I should stop complimenting you?
But then why are you doing those things?
Because the dynamics, that's what I don't get. It's like, women will say, the way men treat women is horrible. The way we interact is horrible. We're negligent, we're this, we're that. Okay, so why do I have to be in a relationship with you to treat you nice?
That's a good point. But
Why-
let me add something.
That's my thing. Why do I have to be in a relationship for me to be nice to you?
My thing is this, ladies. Like,
That's how men are thinking.
a lot of men are not sure of what they want from the relationship that they find themselves in. So when they say I'm not ready for a relationship, means is that I'm not ready to be fully committed to you. It doesn't mean that I'm not interested in you. It doesn't mean I don't like you.
Right.
It doesn't mean I don't see a future with us. But it means at this moment in time, I'm not ready to give you the commitment that you want.
Right.
Can you accept that? And,
Yes or no?
do you respect that? Now, Zizi Mills is someone that is very intelligent. She's very clued up. And I think her message was like, yo, us women, we kind of know what we want before we even get into the relationship. As single women or women, you know, that are ready to settle down, because that's another thing as well. You have to get to a point where you're ready to settle down. You may be dating a guy, and then what tends to happen is women, I like to think of them having tunnel vision. So they usually date one guy at a time. They're not going to date 100 guys at a time. So usually...
Times have changed.
Yeah.
Times have changed.
Don't be making them sounds, man.
No, but usually...
It came out of me. I didn't even plan
Man was
it.
like-
When he said it, my whole spirit was like,
But what I'm
Because
getting...
women be telling me like, they be having you 5 of y'all.
Yeah, no, that's the
Don't
new
get
age.
this.
That's
what I'm talking about, the new age.
But a lot of women are open with that. Not a lot. I've never experienced a woman telling me, "Yeah, I'm dating you," and it's this other
No,
guy.
she won't tell you.
She ain't gonna do that. So, and it goes back to, we've had this discussion before. A lot of people are not real. So when a guy is keeping it real with you, is now he's literally left the ball in your court.
Yeah.
If the guy says I'm not ready for a relationship, but you want a relationship,
go ahead with that.
and you feel that there's a time frame for you to be in a relationship, then you actually have to leave that guy.
Yeah.
There's no point pressuring, using reverse psychology, having a trap baby.
No, do you know what happens?
Phrase as well.
Do you know what happens?
A trap baby.
Yeah, trap baby.
That,
But you know what happens?
Women do that.
Listening is different from hearing. Because
Facts.
you be telling somebody something, they be telling you what it sounds like to them. I don't care what it sounds like to you. I am telling you, I'm not ready.
the definition-
I don't want a relationship. If you cannot comprehend that at that moment,
Yeah.
all the moaning you're doing down the line makes no sense. Because you're going to end up telling the man that he used you, he did this to you, he did that to you.
Yeah.
And then he becomes the villain at the end. But in reality, he told you I don't want a relationship.
Well, the definition of listening is to act upon what you hear.
There we go. So you're not acting
So
upon
if
what
you've heard something and
you
you
ain't acting-
haven't
you ain't
changed
listening.
your action towards what you've heard,
You are
then
listening.
you're not listening.
Because there's no way a woman can tell me I don't be in a relationship with you and I'm still confused. I don't get why I would ever be confused because you're coming over every night and give me some good vagina. Bro, you said you don't want no relationship. I heard you loud and clear. Why is anyone confused?
And another thing is, well, people's feelings change as well. That's another thing. Is like a guy may say, "Oh, I don't want a relationship," and then as time's going along, again, it may sound selfish or narrow-minded, but a guy realized, you know what? There is no other woman like this woman. This woman,
Do you know what? That's real shit.
this woman,
That's real
This
shit.
woman has again.
But for that moment, that's why you felt. So until, otherwise, when you do feel that way, communicate. Communicate. So until he's communicated with you that he wants to be in a relationship, assume the latter. Like, just assume it's not that. Because when it does change, because I get that.
But that's why women stay around. That's why they hang around.
what we're saying
because
is-
they're hoping for that change.
But
And
what
I
we're
think,
saying- yeah,
and
right.
I think that's what they're trying
That's
to figure
literally
out.
that.
That space
But the
is what they're
problem
trying to
is,
figure out.
you got to be aware that that's what you're doing. Don't do it thinking.
And then-
it's not,
yeah,
you understand?
yeah,
Because
yeah.
if you're gonna wait around, know that you're waiting around.
Know that you're waiting
Don't
around,
think,
yeah.
oh, but you said.
Don't start complaining
Don't start
about being on
complaining.
the waiting list.
So, because my thing
that
is, like,
sounded so
I
arrogant, but sorry. But
No,
it's
but
true.
I'll
Do you know
complain.
what I mean?
I will tell a woman where I'm at. Do you understand? And if I want, I'll tell her, yo, I do want you. This is just where I'm feeling about things. Blah blah.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, if we decide that this is cool, then we know that it's a matter of time. Then anytime you start to think, oh, okay, maybe I do need this woman in my life. But it could also be I don't. My thing is be prepared for that I don't. The problem is only preparing for I do. Not preparing for I
You
don't.
know what? I really do. And this is
So I'm
such a,
telling
it's
men out
such a
there,
good...
if a woman tells you she's not on it, please listen 1000%. Do not start calculating anything beyond what she just said to you. When people will tell you what, like I said, men were crap at paying attention. Women just don't listen. So when someone's telling you, you don't have to tell me twice. You don't have to tell me twice.
Yeah, but what
Just
is
tell me
it?
one
Because
time.
both men and women do that. And what is it
we're
about the
saying
human
is,
psyche that
because
allows
we
that
want
space?
There's this
fantasy.
word. There's this word that I want to
love
fantasy.
We
You're
love
right. You're
the
right.
fantasy.
We love the
You're right.
fantasy.
We love it. And the only people that love
The
fantasy,
reality is too hard to accept.
the only
You're
reason
right.
people love fantasy, not the reality, because they don't have the discipline to deal with reality. See, reality requires you to have the discipline to deal with it.
Yeah.
When you don't have the discipline to deal with it, the fantasy
Yeah,
is better.
and you know what? I think that's where females go wrong there, because the discipline that it takes for a female to respect herself and know that, okay, cool, he don't want a
done
relationship,
that work.
I'm done. That's the moment where you say I'm done.
She ain't gonna leave the guy.
She don't have the discipline to do that.
Yeah,
No.
Because I don't know, the sex is
If she-
good,
no,
the money's
she-
good, the
if she
experience
did,
is good,
she would be
whatever
like-
is good is good. But females actually need to know that when you've figured that out, exit. There is, they have the discipline.
I saw your
to
face.
exit.
I think
I
that's
saw
what
Miss.
Breezy's
I, wait,
point.
Have
I,
the discipline
I saw
to
Miss
exit.
Scarlett's face. When Ray Rich was talking, what do you agree or disagree?
Yep.
No, it was just when you said about the sex, it made me laugh because I was thinking that's what we would say, you're digmatized.
Yeah, that's the actual thing.
Thank you for that insight. She gave us an
that's the
insight
actual
into
thing.
the female
There's,
conversation.
there's also
Hey,
pussy whip.
shout out to the man that
Yeah, everybody-
digmatizing.
There's
There's digmatized and pussy whip. And
Yeah,
what-
exactly. It's vice versa. It happens on
Yeah, it happens.
too.
But what we got to
You said
understand
that.
is, what I understand
I love
is
that one.
most
Digmatized.
people in general, men, women, children especially, they tell you how they feel.
Yeah, fact.
People, human beings, we naturally tell you how I feel. Oh, I'm hot, I'm cold.
Yeah, we always tell you how you feel, we just don't pay
It's a
attention.
natural impulse to tell someone how they feel. I feel like women, if you're dating a guy and you have your own personal, because this is another thing as well about life. Like Joe's said previously, my philosophy on life is all about experience. Anybody you meet is either going to give you a good experience, a bad experience. And sometimes that experience might not last forever. It might be a moment in time. You might have to meet a dick to know that the other person isn't a dick.
Yeah.
If you never met an arsehole, you don't know what arsehole is.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you get?
That's true.
So living life allows you to learn. So if you're in this relationship with somebody, and I feel like the word that I wanted to include in this conversation is a lot of people settle, i.e. meaning that they're happy to be in limbo. There is no heaven, there is no hell. I'm okay. What tends to happen is you meet.
There's something wrong with settling and being okay.
There's definitely something wrong with settling, but settling is the easiest process in any
Let's
relationship.
define
I don't know about that.
Let's define settling.
A lot of people settle.
Because even when
Wait,
you're
wait.
in love, you have to settle, isn't it? At some point.
You have to
Right?
settle at some point. But when we say settling, that's why I want to define it. So
Yeah.
I want to get
Okay,
everything.
but me,
So for you, Rich,
for me,
Buzzin,
it's cool.
What's your definition
For
of
me,
settling?
settling is I have my non-negotiables, or I have the things that I'm not willing to compromise about, but I'm gonna act like I have.
Okay.
That's me settling. That means
When you
Sorry, so
abandon
come
your
come
truth.
again.
you abandon your truth For the fantasy.
For the fantasy.
Okay.
Got you. What you
think
saying?
that's settling.
Yeah, that's
Definitely
his version.
settling.
That's his
That's
version.
my version, yeah.
what's
To
your
me,
version?
I think settling is saying that, okay, cool. I have my expectations, you know, and the majority of them are being met. Do you understand? There are some compromises in this situation, but I can live with that. I'm willing to see where we're gonna grow into.
Oh, that's everyone's settling then.
So to me, that's settling.
Nah, that's not. So when people meet outside.
But even then, yeah, for me personally, I have a problem with the word settling because I don't think that really exists in a relationship.
All day.
Because I think you're always growing. There
All
is no
day.
settle in a relationship.
To me,
So to me, if you're settling, I just think that that's a stable relationship.
Nah.
I don't think
When you
settling
say
is negative.
settle, that's
I don't
what
think.
I don't
I
think it's
don't see settle as a negative thing because eventually everyone has to settle down.
Yes.
So
yes.
when do
Yeah, but where do we
why
get
would
that
we-
idea from? Of
But then I would say
settling
that's
down?
a
What's
different
that idea?
concept.
Right.
Settling down
It's
and
settling.
settling.
Gotcha. Okay, I love that.
different
So let's go into that. I love that. I
That's
like
a
the
good
fact she
point.
brought it up.
That's a good point.
This is why you gotta have women in the circle.
Yeah, we need to.
So settling down, because you have to settle down. But let's be honest. Settling is when we use settle down in a derogative term, though.
Elaborate. Go.
Yeah,
It's
I agree.
semantics to me.
It is definitely semantics.
Settling and settling down, the only difference is the tone and context you used it. Because settling down is what? Deal with what's in front of you. If this is a woman you're dating, settle with her, meaning calm down. And
Downs, yeah.
You're taking everything, even if it's not your standard.
yeah.
So when you say settling, is when we want to use it in the derogative term, was, oh, you're settling. 99% of you are going to settle. Let's get out of the way. Women, please. All this, I'm settling. Do you know what your level is? Do you know what the level is? The person that puts the ring on it. That's the level.
That's crazy.
Or the person, or, because it depends on everyone believes in marriage. I've met so many happy, the amount of happy couples I've met who are not married, embarrass the people that are married. Real talk.
Facts.
I agree.
I've met men that are happy as hell in their own, and I met married people just can't stand each other. I'm like,
Yeah.
So what I mean is that if you're settling or you're settled, your levels, who's committing to you, who's willing to say, you know what, I want you in my life. And for women, in case you don't know your level, whoever comes and said, I need you as wife, I need you in my life, actually, you're somebody I take seriously, I'm not playing by this thing, I want this. That's your level.
True.
Men will have sex with anything. So don't think him sexing you, dating you, he puts you on his level. It doesn't.
Not all men.
So when you're not for sure, but
I just gotta say that.
No, but what
not
we're
all
saying
men.
is-
I know what you mean,
I get
bro.
what you mean.
But
But
not all men
we're just generalizing.
can't do it.
We're just generalizing. Not a lot of men, and Rich is right. It's true. It's not all men. Let's get that straight. I'm just generalizing just for the sake of conversation that settling factor, you're not always going to get what you want. And you don't get all of what you want. No one's going to give you 100% of what you want. No one.
Yeah, that's it.
Nobody's going to give you 100% of what you want. So everyone's settling if it's that. It's not a fact. It's we always say, "Oh, I'm settling." Is when you feel like you're getting less than what you just feel like you
Thank
deserve.
you, yeah.
But in
What
reality,
others think you do.
most people don't even check what they're worthy of versus what they deserve. You see, being worthy of something means you've earned. Deserving things you're entitled. So a lot of the time in conversation, I find that women use the word deserve a lot. Deserve, I deserve this, I deserve. But it's like, but are you earning that? Okay, you want me to come along and pay bills and do this and do that and take care of you and blah, blah. But for me, do you know what I want in one circle? Because it don't seem to be considered. Because what I want and what makes me feel like I'm settling, most of the women, if you put them in front of the man they want, that man's gonna be like, I'm settling. Because most of you lot ain't done the work to actually achieve, to get the man to settle down with you. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Because don't come at me with your boss bitch attitude. Don't come at me with, oh, I'm independent. Don't come at me with none of that. Because I'm not, what's that got to do with me? I don't understand. What do you want me to do with that?
I never needed that.
I don't need that. What I said earlier, what do I need you for? To contribute to what's working. So if you're not doing that, but I don't look at that just as a relationship between man and woman. That's just society. You're only valuable when you're contributing. If you're not contributing, how are you valuable?
Yeah.
In any scenario, as a friend, if you're not contributing some way, somehow, how are you valuable? As a son, how are you valuable to your mom if you're not contributing? You got to be valuable. And the only way you can be valuable is by contributing. Considering that, I love that word you always bring, that consideration. Considering, oh, what does he need? Or what does she need? Oh, okay, cool. Do you understand what I'm saying? That consideration. So that's how I look at it.
No, word. I definitely agree with that. I think settling is something that has become a norm, though, at this point. Yeah, there's the level of settling down, and there's this, oh, you know what? I'm just going to abandon my non-negotiables.
Yeah, I think that's settling.
Just to maintain
That's settling.
this relationship because of whether the image, again, based upon cultures. A lot of people are in, for example, in the African culture, if you was to impregnate a woman, the first thing that's family to her, you're going to marry her.
You want to marry her, yeah.
Forget love.
Forget love.
Forget
But you know what's so dope? So can I just add in? You know what's so dope about that? What I've learned is that if you're getting married and you want to be with someone long term, if you're relying on that love to sustain you lot are really going to go crash and burn. That love is not going to sustain, not a goddamn thing. You're going to have to add all the other things around it.
But again, to sustain any relationship is understanding and respect.
And compassion.
Compassion,
all
understanding, and respect. That plays a role. So when people settle down, I feel like there is understanding of, do you know what, this person needs me. The compassion side is, I don't really want to be here, but again, because I care for this person, I'm gonna make this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
That's
be
all
here.
settling to me.
That's all settling.
That's
And
all
I
settling.
don't think settling is healthy for any relationship.
I think it's healthy for
I
anything.
think it always unravels.
Because
as time goes along.
you're not with you're not with your choice.
So do you think
And don't
that
be-
Will or Jada are settled for each other? Just
Nah,
saying that there.
I think-
because I feel like that's what
I
happened.
feel like Jada
I think
settled
Jada
Because she
for Will.
couldn't get Tupac.
Yeah. Oh,
Jada settled for
fucked. It's so messed up.
She's from Baltimore. She's from the
Yeah.
streets, bro.
It's so messed up.
She's from ends. Jada's an ends chick.
But you know,
That's-
the messed up thing though is,
What?
you know, Peter's helped
Just
me.
hit you. Just hit you.
Yeah.
What?
Because Tupac wanted her and she didn't want him.
No, but they said they were only friends.
I don't understand that though.
She's
She just gonna mess up a whole marriage
she's
off
very
of
much
that
right.
shit.
When
and
he
then
said he hit the nail
I
on the
don't
head.
get it.
She wanted someone safe. Will was Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
I don't
He's
get
going
it.
to be
What
a
the
top guy in Hollywood. Tupac is probably going to die in the streets or die in this music industry.
She wanted
If I'm
that
thinking
shit.
about my future,
She wanted that shit.
No, she liked the idea of it.
She had
And
the
it's so-
idea, but she knew the reality
And
of
again-
it wasn't real, so she picked Will.
Yes.
That's
No,
right.
I agree with that.
Crazy. I still got bust.
No, that was real talk.
I agree with that.
Oh, bro.
She's a
that's-
prime example of
It's
settling and unraveling over time.
You say that again because
I don't even know if
Oh,
We're gonna
We're gonna roll the tape back. You're gonna roll the
You're
tape
gonna have to
God
rewind,
damn.
bruv, on that. Get us some
No,
more
but it's
streams
true.
on
But that's opposite about settling. I'm just like, yo, I'm only gonna pick my first option. If you're part of the thing I'll take for first option, that's the only reason I'm only gonna pursue it.
But what happens if you got kids?
Even if I got kids.
See, this is a mental.
Even if I got kids. Let me
It's a
tell you
level of
something.
maturity that you've got.
Let me tell you guys something. Yeah? When you have children, because we're gonna go into the main topic today, which is fatherhood. When you have kids, yeah, you have to understand something. Majority of the time, when you have children, you're not the first choice. That's the first thing you need to understand. People don't wake up preferring someone with kids. If they can have you without kids, that's the better version of you.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I understand that.
Yeah.
And I get that. Listen, I'm one of them people that I don't cry about the world. I make adjustments. I'm not here to cry about the world. You know, the world. People have been suffering long before I got here.
actually-
And
Well, you
my
young
suffering
bucks out there, bro. That's a good wisdom. If you get that from early, take that.
Bro, like,
Don't cry about the world, accept it and move
make the
on and
adjustment, my
get
dog.
cracking.
I could cry about not having a supermodel or a beautiful woman in my life, or I can make the adjustments to make myself eligible. What am I going to do?
Yeah.
Right, so this is why, just what being a man, you get taught early. Your feelings only matter if you have the power to do something about it. That's what you learn as a young boy early. Your feelings only matter if you have the power to do something about it. If you don't, it don't mean nothing.
Yeah.
When you're a girl, it's different because we have to respect your feelings. Society it urges you to. Because if you don't, even the man them around be like, bro, that's calm. Don't do that. That's cold. Don't do that. But for a man, it's like, no, we're gonna let you burn until you do something about it. So what I'm saying is, make the adjustment. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm always an adjustable person. I look at that. So when you got kids, you're not the first choice, but that's calm, because I started to look at, okay, cool, Joe. Me and my whiteboard. If you don't know me and my whiteboard have been best friends for a long time. Right? That whiteboard is so I can get my ideas out of my head and on a piece which I can strategize. I'm always tactical about my life because I can't afford to fuck it up. So meaning that's it. I'm like, I got 2 kids. I'm not the first choice. Go, I got you. But where can I actually beat the rest of the competition at? Then I looked at it, I'm like, I've got experience being married, so cool. So I know how to deal with a female. I know how to elevate her without feeling threatened or none of that dumb shit. I'm calm. I don't like being out late, number one. And I'm a horrible liar because I can't lie to save my life. I will tell on myself, just give me some drink, I'll start telling on myself. Two juice.
Yeah.
No long thing.
much, yeah.
I'll start telling on myself ASAP. So I'm not the one for that. But also my discipline is why I beat a lot of people at. If I tell you it's A, it's fucking A. I don't waver with things. I'm very direct. If I tell you it's B, it's B. If I tell you it's A, it's A. If I tell you C, it's C. So I realized, what do women want? So now I look at the kind of women I like and what I want. What do they need from me? Dependability. They need me. Okay, I could do that. I could do that. You know what I'm saying to you? Because at the end of the day, I'm like, yo, Buzzin said it in the other episode about being real with yourself. You said in the other episode about transparency. Once you sit with yourself and you are happy with who you are, you don't trip off that. You attract the people in your life because you know how to facilitate a female in your life. Now she has to decide, do I want to go back to the streets and deal with these lying ass niggas, or do I want to do with a man that's actually going to talk? And I realized once we get to that point, I am the best choice because I want to keep it all the way G with you. You're not going to know when you're not stand with me.
It's up to
I'm
you
not going to hide
to
behind you.
get to that
I ain't
point of
finna cheat.
Yeah.
I'm going to be open up front. So it depends as a woman, what do you want?
But what you've done there, again,
I'm always open.
you've established your value.
hiding my kids
You've established your value.
Facts.
Once you
Guys, establish your value.
establish your value. Once you establish your value, you know what you're worthy of.
This is it.
This is what I talk
But
about.
I'm also on
bring it
working
round,
for
Buzzin,
it.
that's
But
it.
I love what he said. But I'm also ready to work for it. I need people to get away from I deserve to. What are you willing to work for it?
Yeah, that has
I'm
to
willing
be the
to
primary
take care of you. I'm willing to
That's true.
spend because it
That's
might.
true, because no one's deserving of anyone.
And if anything, you gotta work for
That's
it.
what I'm saying. No one's deserving of anyone.
Even when
facts.
not even to get religious, but even from a biblical perspective, any religion you want to go to, you have to. Yes, you are blessed, you are chosen, but hey, you got to put work in here to come and meet me up there.
Yeah, facts.
That's the concept.
It's always work.
So everything is work.
Everything is work.
Everything is work.
But we don't talk about it enough in society. We're always about what we deserve, what we entitled to. Bro, I'm on working. So if I want the woman in my life, I'm on working to keep her. It's not a problem for me.
Yeah.
You understand? I'm on it. The work is not hard for me.
Yeah, because that's the thing, though. We talk a lot about in commercial society about what it takes the work it takes to get the woman or get the man, but to keep the man or the woman, we don't talk.
We don't talk about the keeping part. Now,
we don't talk
on the basis of father, because today we want to speak about father, because we're all dads here. That's a beautiful thing.
Yes, we
you know
are.
what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Wait, just clarify. You guys are all dads here.
Okay, sorry, ma.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Yes,
sorry.
let's clarify. Depends what you identify with. No, I'm joking.
I love that.
I know better.
It does.
Nah, but the men in the couch are all fathers.
Yeah, we are. Thank you.
What is the Rich? I want to start with you. Give me your first year of fatherhood. How did it feel? The first year.
First year.
You're home. That baby coming. That what's it called?
Okay, let me say this. I did not know responsibility or like authentically
Yeah.
until I had my first child. That's the first responsibility that I realized that was solely on me. You understand? Nobody else. I ain't got no. Even though, of course, I have people to help me.
No, of course, we'll support, but
Or
you
like,
are the
but
primary.
This is me.
Yeah, it's all
God
of
given
you.
to me.
Yeah, facts.
What you gonna do now?
Now, yeah, facts.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So for me, that was, and I've always, being the oldest of 8 siblings, shout out to my brothers and sisters and that. Responsibility has always been a thing that I've not been a stranger to. So I was okay with, but this level is different.
Yeah, it's different.
You understand? It hits different.
Because not only is it morally on you, it's spiritually on you. It's legally on you.
Yeah, definitely that too. Do you know what I mean? And something that I always took pride in being prepared for and ready for, even though...
You always be ready for that though, man.
Yeah, but even though it's
You know
like
what I'm
I
saying,
said, it's a different level. Like I've always been real to myself. You understand?
Rich has always had a grip on how to treat women, man. We were the ones that were effing
Listen,
up.
the art of
Rich has
us-
always had the grip
The
on
art
we
that
were
I
effing
ask
up.
from everybody else, I practice myself.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
understand?
facts,
So that
facts,
authenticity,
Facts.
that reciprocation that I have to have between me and the situation or
got
the
you.
person, and that transformation that I need to look for, I always have practiced with myself before I've come out here and tried to say, Rich Noble Art wants to share this with the world. So when it came to being a father, I was like, wow, this is solely on me. I'm on it. Maybe I was a little bit more prepared than most people. So I just kind of was straight, okay, cool, boom, boom.
Was there a point then where you got realized, actually, I'm not as prepared as I thought?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you for asking that.
Yes.
Question. Yes. I'm not gonna lie.
You know, it's like how it started. It's like,
There is
how it's going stressed out.
There is a level of
Give me 2. Let me put it specifically to help you understand it.
Yeah.
I want to hear 2 things that you learned about fatherhood that empowered you. 2 things that really make you take a knee and be like, God, I need some help. 2 things.
one thing that really is deciding which ones really sets which in that sense. But
No order, innit?
Not order, just whatever. 2 things that made you be like, rah.
I think when you ask that question, the first thing that comes to my mind is that, first of all, realizing that every being that's born on this world is uniquely different. And you cannot you cannot solely base your responsibility with that being based on your experiences.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying to you? Like, this is an individual.
That's gonna have their own experience.
That's gonna have
the
their
one
own
lesson you learned.
They're gonna have their own experience, and you are here to guide them through that.
What's the second one you learned that was good?
So that's a kind of a reset. The second one is also realizing that everything that you thought was parenting, or that you experienced as like, I guess, the child being parented, like, you're not going to be able to carry all of that forward.
Got you.
Let's just be real. Like,
Certain
we're in a
things,
different we're in a different time. Where it's a different generation,
different scenario,
like everything. A lot of things are different. So the things that you thought, oh, stock, yeah, I can rely on, you know, maybe saying this to my child if he does this, or doing this when my child does that. Like, no, we have to approach that situation with the reality of the moment, where we are at, who that child is as an individual, and you understand, and where we're heading to as a collective, as a society, and as human beings.
Got you. Love that.
So
it's two things that you learned that was like, I'm not ready for this. You got ready eventually, but I'm saying when it first happened, you're like, okay, you've learned this lesson, you're like, damn, God, I'm gonna need you to step in there for a second.
Realizing that just because I'm the father, I'm not the only one responsible for him.
Good. How?
That was a bit difficult, because I had to also, you know, coming back to my, you know, one of my favorite, you know, words is of consideration. I had to understand that he's got a mum who comes from a whole different culture, whole different background, whole different family. They're gonna want to do things a certain way. They're gonna have certain considerations that I've probably never thought about. I have to consider that in the development of my child. How do I do that? That's a whole nother task.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
What's the second thing then that you learned?
That's a humbling thing. I'd have to say, well, I don't know, man. Even that alone, what I've just said already is so much
it's 2 in 1.
to take on. I don't even think I've got a second point to bring.
No, I think that was a very powerful
off
thing
the top of my
to
head.
learn that
You know what I mean?
consideration of that. It's not just me. I've got another culture, another history that my child also needs to consider, and realizing my voice is not the only.
Well, you know what? The second thing I would realize is that, yeah, this definitely.
Okay, good.
It's definitely it. That I'm not finished growing.
I was gonna say that's one of mine.
I
realized I am far.
I am not finished growing. Like, this relationship is probably gonna be the most revealing relationship you're ever gonna have in your life about who you are. And as parents,
True though.
I think
You
we
have to deal with
get to
some truth.
points where we forget that. We forget that, no, this child has come to teach me something too. It's a blessing towards me too.
Yeah, no, facts.
It's a moment where God's saying, no, I think you need to consider this a little. Consider that a little bit. Think about this. And it's done in such a way that, from your kid, that if you're not paying attention, which is one thing that I love the fact that Joel brings up and we should reiterate all the time, if you don't pay attention to that as a parent, you will lose yourself.
Absolutely.
You will lose yourself with that relationship with that child. You definitely will. And a lot of us don't realize that till it's too late, which is, i.e., teenager stage.
Yeah, by that time you can't even tell the kid nothing.
You can't tell them nothing because
Buzz, what you
he's
saying?
seen who you are.
Love that. Thank you, Rich. I love that.
So
Two things that you learned that empowered you. Oh yeah.
For me personally.
And then two things that you have to talk to God like God.
All right, cool. Do you know what? It's very simple. My first child, was my savior. I refer to him as my personal savior. Prior to him, I was very.
You did change. I definitely.
Yeah, obviously.
Your level up was like overnight when
I was someone that obviously was, you know, invested in the streets and whatever. And when you're in that headspace, because it's actually a headspace. It's actually
it's
the
headspace.
street life is not a reality. It's just a headspace. So when you're in that headspace, trust. As you get older, you realize that. But when you're in that headspace, you only care about yourself. You don't care about your future. So I'll do certain things. I don't care if I go jail. I don't care if they kill me. I'm ready for this. Do you get? I'm invested in that. The music I'm listening to, the people that I'm around, we're all on the same wave. Do you know what I'm saying? The same
echo chambers
frequency.
are just there.
Yeah. But when I had my son,
Snapped out of that.
It was like, bro, I don't care about none of you.
Yeah.
Because one thing is when you're on the streets, everyone's like, I'm going to die for the gang. I'm going to die for the name.
Yeah, it's about the
I was
gang
like, I ain't dying for none of you. I got my seed. I got my own thing I need to die for.
Yeah.
That became, I refer to my son as my savior. He was my, I refer to him as my personal savior. So when people talk about Jesus and all that, yeah,
he's your personal savior.
He's my personal savior because without him, I probably could have been on a different path.
Yeah,
Do you know what I'm saying?
I definitely saw him trajectory into all.
Yeah, he brought values to my life. And then the other thing I would say is he's also taught me about patience. See, the thing is, we always feel like we know everything until we get put in certain situations or until we're tested. And then when you see the results of the test, you're like, oh. Like, for example, you see some people like, I'm the fastest in the school. I'm faster than you. Then you actually realize, like, I didn't know he was that fast. The reality check hits you. Having a child is very much like that, especially if you want to be a good father, because that's another conversation. But there's two types of fathers. There's dads and there's fathers.
Yeah.
To be a dad is easy. You just need to bust in a girl. She just needs to incubate the baby.
Yep.
And then bam.
Put your name
you're
on
a
the
dad.
birth certificate. Once it is on the birth certificate, it's done.
Ejaculate in a
Then being a father is actually a job. It's like,
Yeah.
I've got this
There's a
job
responsibility there.
outside of myself. It's a responsibility. It's an identity.
That
To be a
requires-
father is an identity. It's like when someone's like, he's a good father.
Yeah, it's
it's
an
like,
identity.
you already know about that person's character.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's
it
like,
comes with a whole.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying it's easy. So now going back to the negatives about or
two things
the
you learned, that's
downers.
really, yeah.
What I learned was, I think this is probably going to be the realest I'll probably be with a lot of people. But one of the biggest things I learned was
In his
more
mind brings it out.
more recently than later was having a daughter. See, when you have
I'm about to talk about that.
when you have a son, when you have a son, is like you're thinking mini me. It's gonna be like this.
Yeah.
You're a bit more.
Still in your ego a bit.
Yeah, in a way, and
you have your son, you still are.
your son is a reflection of you. Whether
That's your second chance, and it's your redemption.
your son is a reflection of you. So you're very you should be like this. You should be like you kind of
You're trying to correct everything in you and them.
facts. But when you have a daughter as a man, because obviously again, when I was younger, I was a bit of a gallist and girls.
A bit is an understatement.
Definitely.
I live with this guy.
No.
I saw it.
was just a
I
bit-
witnessed it.
I was confused in regards.
I was confused.
I was confused in regards.
Sorry, do you know what I would just love when he's explaining this, because I've known him for a long time. But what I love,
Both, bro.
I wish we could have the younger version of the older version of you now.
That'd be crazy.
On his shoulders right now,
Completely
innit?
two different people.
The distance is so huge.
Yeah,
It is.
completely different
It's
people.
so huge that you now will just think you then is a dickhead.
Do you know what's so
And you
ironic?
then-
And I want to take this moment to give him his flowers.
That was
and say,
amazing.
bro,
No, I appreciate it.
respect you
But you
for
know
that.
what I realized though? Again,
Yeah, so
I
kind of thought you saw the second thing was
I was gonna say having a daughter allowed me to understand women from a different perspective. The understanding that all women ever want to do is for you to care for them.
Yeah.
Like having a
Scarlett, is that true? Is that all?
yeah,
Yeah.
I got that. I was like, having a daughter is you have to change your approach. With my son, I remember go and sit down. The daughter was like, why? It's like, no, I'm sorry. I don't mean like they naturally, and especially when it's
love
like
it.
it's because obviously again I'm not saying like when you actually have a daughter in your life that you're raising, you learn that cool, there's more than one side to parenting. But if you have a boy first, and I'm talking about from a father,
Yeah, from a father point of view,
from a
it's much
mother it may be different. But from a father, you realize, oh wow, do you know what? I have to change my approach. A lot of guys that I know that have fathers, they've changed their approach of how they deal with people. Forget women, it's just how I deal with people. Having a child helped me to become more patient. Having a daughter helped me become more, what's that? Empathetic.
Yeah.
Yes. So as in, I feel your pain.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm
It
feeling
gives
the
that
pain.
emotional intelligence.
Yeah, and that's what I was about to say. I should have added that first. The biggest thing, if you choose, again, job role, if you choose to be a father, the first thing you will
Emotional
learn
intelligence.
is emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
You learn that if
That
you're
logic don't always
angry,
work.
it doesn't mean that your kid is angry. It doesn't mean that your kid has to take that. I also look at my upbringing and certain things that put my mindset in survival mode. Survival mode is another thing. Survival mode and independence are very much the same. They're very much related.
Oh, no, so we'll talk about that.
And that's all to do with selfishness. You won't realize that, but this world is all about giving. The more you give, the more you get. That's why they say love is life, life is love, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, having a child will naturally increase your emotional intelligence, as well as
if you take on the job.
If you take on a job, or we have to emphasize,
because a lot of guys don't change when they have kids.
Yeah.
But some of you said that so freaking the point was that once you take on the job, this is what happens. That's what we're basically saying. But I love that.
And what last thing to add to that, again, just because I'm putting this content out there, I really feel that a lot of guys settle because they have a child.
Oh, a lot. Just the same as women.
You don't need to settle because you have a child. To be a good father is a job role. A lot of guys,
and being a father also is not connected to how well you get along with the mum.
Thank you. That's another. That's the main thing is you can be an amazing father but a shit boyfriend
or husband.
Or husband. You can be amazing. And I'm not saying
but
that.
Sometimes being a father is also connected to the structure of the family.
Yeah, but what
I think
what
sometimes we do that.
No, but what we're saying is that.
If the romance is
how the women doesn't mean feels about you has nothing to do with your father. Your father is between you and your children. That's what we're saying.
We need to stop that.
So what we're saying is
that's
that
actually strong.
You may not be great in a relationship because of other issues, because it's not always the man's fault.
Yeah, because a lot of men are out here saying that I can't, missing out on the childhood of their kids because of
I don't get along with
the excuse
mother.
I don't get them. That's some.
No, sometimes also
I do get that sometimes.
No, I get that. Some men don't allow. No, Rich. Some men are in a situation where the woman hides the kid, takes the kid, puts you in court. It's not as straightforward as that.
I know
some men are fighting for the kid.
I got friends and brothers that are in that situation right now.
So it's not as
I'm just saying though, and I just want to put that out there.
Because men are fighting, but some women can use the system
I just want to install that in their hearts, because there are some men out there, I know that some friends of mine.
Ones that abuse it, is that what you're saying?
That are in those situations where the women are kind of, keeping them away from it and not allowing them that. All I can say is don't ever give up in your heart, because that child will remember that and will know that one day and will love you for it.
But also maybe it depends as well.
Too many men give up too quick.
Look at 50 Cent. Yeah, sometimes the mum poisons the child. You too. There's always nuances, man. When it comes
to women, we need to stop that, man.
So even for guys as well.
That's very selfish.
But for me, look, the two things I learned in fatherhood.
That's why you shouldn't have a baby if you don't know yourself. Like if you don't know yourself,
if you know your pull-out game is weak.
If you don't have parachutes,
you don't have them parachutes. Pull that. Get the fuck up out of there.
If you
can't,
I'll be real, man.
Sorry.
Just
we're in the presence of a female.
No, because we're fathers. On a serious note, guys, I will definitely urge you to just practice safe sex. It's the way forward.
That's true.
If you feel like you want more spark, I want to feel her properly, then you need to make that situation a bit more.
Have that conversation before.
I've been in
the situation more proper if you want to properly penetrate.
Yeah, if you want to properly penetrate. If you just want to test it, or as they say,
if you're just having fun.
Have fun safely. I have to push that. And safe sex can be fun. All this I don't really feel the condom.
That's not.
And that goes to men and women.
Durex Light, they're not sponsoring, but I want to save you lot from a lot of problems.
No, but a lot of women, again, sorry, my own experience. A lot of women say I'm allergic to latex. Yo,
bro, so you get that latex.
When you're putting on your shoe that's made out of latex, you're not allergic to. When you're putting on the Louis Vuitton,
if you're allergic to latex and all these things, you find other things.
You
cannot be skinny dipping you can't be just doing that. But anyway, back to the point about fatherhood.
Sorry.
Yeah,
that's how you not become a father.
That's how you not become a father, right? But back to our fatherhood, I think the first thing was understanding that 6 months in, I realized how much I wasn't ready. 6 months in, I realized because the weight of the job. You know, like you get a job, like I can do the job, then the weight of the job comes up. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Give me a minute, and that's only because you want to do it right.
Yeah.
If you want to do it right, you're gonna feel that pressure for me. Like, damn, like I have to. Kids require you to be at your best all the time.
Facts.
That's why it's hard. Kids require you to be at your best all the time, and you're not.
You can't.
You're just not. So that was a hard pill for me to swallow. That put me on my knees. I was like, yo, I can't be at my best all the time. Do you understand? Back to what Buzz said earlier about having a daughter. It definitely changed a lot of things. But at the same time, it made me understand that, when you have a child, the only thing you can do is install the values, the principles, the love, the guidance that you can. But you can do all of that and that kid come out spoiled.
Yeah.
There is no solidified, guaranteed
each
blueprint.
child is different.
Each child is different.
Facts.
But what I did learn that made me feel great was that when I had my son, it made me change my approach about how I dealt with life because I wanted him to demonstrate. I didn't like the fact that when I grew up, they would talk you to death, but I never saw them do it.
Yeah, hypocrite.
I didn't like that. You told me to death, but I never saw you man do it.
Yeah.
So you're telling me, in my mind, I'm like, I want to get money and get out of this hood, but you lot say education the way. But when I look at all you lot educated, all I see you lot do is suffering. I didn't quite understand. So to put the two together, they're both not mutually exclusive, but I just didn't get it. You got to demonstrate the reward you're talking about.
Yeah.
So I realized I got to demonstrate.
Lead by an example.
Lead by example.
That becomes very
So what I
paramount
used to
as a
do is
parent.
I
That's
just take
a
my
good
son to work with me to the office. I'll take him with me. So I'm like, I need to see by example how you handle things, how you deal with people. Put him in an environment. Oh, this is how my dad relates to people. This is how he handles situations. Even when I would have conflict with his mom, I loved when he was around because I use it as a stage to perform, to let him understand. Like, actually, you don't have to go back and forth with no woman. Let her talk, hear her out, and while going. Because even when I have my daughter, it's the same thing. I wanted to show her how a man should to function in the home. I wanted her normality to be a man listening to her, taking her feelings into consideration. So I did the same thing because I needed her to grow up in a world where, oh, but my dad, he never put hands on my mom. He never shied at her. I didn't see him do any madness. So why are you shouting at me? I don't come from that home. So even when I deal with her, I was like her. She don't like me shouting. My daughter breaks down when I shout. That's her breaking point. I don't beat my kids. So shouting is what breaks my daughter down. So I would use it in terms where I don't feel like I'm getting through. So I would say, like, I don't want to shout. I know you don't like shouting, and I don't want to shout at you. So please, can we do A, B, C, and D? If there's a problem, explain to me why. So we get an understanding, but also provide barriers. So you understand if you go too far to that left, a yell might come your way. And I found it difficult because when she was young, and I told her off, like I'll go in my room and start to cry about it. Like it will hurt my feelings. I had to discipline her. I couldn't stomach disciplining my daughter. My son, for some reason, he rolled off the tongue like, bro, sit down. I don't time for that bullshit. But my daughter, it was just like, I'll say no and it'll bother me all day. All day it'll bother me. I'm like, why is it bothering me? Like, why can't I just... And I realized what happens is, something that Buzzin said earlier is that about your emotional intelligence. Like, all right, she forced me, I got to find new ways to deal with you. I will find new ways to deal with you. And I think we need to embrace the challenge of fatherhood. Embrace it because they're teaching you things and skills you never had that's transferable in every scenario. So now, when I interact with a female, I'm interacting with conscious of she's got trauma, she's got her own problems and and I'm going to try my best. My philosophy is that meet me halfway. I don't do the work for you. Just meet me halfway. And I definitely don't want to pay for what some next guy did. So be present what we're doing now because I don't want to deal with because he didn't. I don't care about that because that's nothing to do with me. I'm here now. Same way I can't bring and compare you to whatever's in the past. I'm dealing with you now. So having kids definitely put life in perspective about growing up, responsibility. I think you mentioned about responsibility. And it's true, it did. Because there was times where I found myself like just wanting to do so much that you guilt trip yourself. You feel guilty when you fall short. You feel like you're a shit parent and And I want to tell the parents out there is like, look, stop guilt tripping yourself. All you can offer is the best version of you that's available now. If you ain't, so there are things I'm not teaching my kids now because it's not in my consciousness that later on they might have needed me to.
But,
Do you know what I'm saying?
I say that to say this. I take what you said to say this. That's also a double indication of why, as parents, we can't stunt our own growth.
Yeah.
We have to stay growing.
So here's a question that my sister, we're at the kids' party, my sister posed this question and it just floored me for a minute, but I had to regather myself. He was like, what's a good parent? What indicates a good parent? What makes you a good father? She said, and I said to her, first that came to my mind, because that's what I said to her. I was like, your constant commitment and competency, back to the same thing. It's your constant
that's in a relationship.
commitment to being the best version of yourself constantly by putting your best foot forward constantly. Because she's like, but a lot of parents think they're doing the best, but actually then I'm growing up without this, that, and the third. And I'm like, well, you're always going to miss out on something. Your parents can't give you everything. I don't know what you're expecting, but your parents can't give you everything. There is no perfection in it. I just think, but it's quite interesting. I want to ask everyone here on the couch, like, and on chair, because you're not the couch, but I just want to just give me two things, very short, what makes a good father, in your opinion?
I think
2 things.
I think what makes a good father is being willing to make personal sacrifices.
Brilliant. Sacrifice.
I think that is very, very important. The moment you're able to do that, your child will always benefit from that. Then the second thing I think, which is really important, is being willing to invest in your seed. Because like
What way?
time, emotion, obviously finances, whatever it may be, invest in your seed's future. Not invest in your seed now. Like, I know parents, again, keep it really short and sweet. Rather than me, my son, he plays football, he's doing very, very well. Rather than me going to go and buy him the newest PlayStation that he wanted and because he wants that, he's caught up in feelings. This nothing is about children and adults. To be mature is when you're able to process your feelings and your emotions
And manage it.
and prioritize. That's what maturity is, when you prioritize what's important.
What's important.
Do you get?
Love that.
Now with children, they don't know that. They naturally don't know that. They're still trying to
They're in
understand.
La La Land. Your kids are
They're
in La
trying
La
to
Land,
understand
yeah.
their feelings. So I think as a good parent is knowing, okay, I'm gonna sacrifice some time. Like my son, he's in academy, he does all this football stuff. There's a lot of times I need to go studio, but he's got football. So you know
Made a
what?
personal
Football,
sacrifice.
You're
like,
my
studio,
dream
wait for a minute.
can wait.
Wait, because my son.
Let me
needs
invest
football.
in my son.
Yeah.
He might want a PlayStation, he want that, but when I'm taking him to these games and he's gaining that
Memories.
experience, one is the memory that my dad took me there. Two, he's actually thinking about his future.
Yeah,
because
because the environment.
and he knows that, oh, I've got my dad's support. There's nothing holding me
Bro,
back.
you know what's so powerful? Same thing because my son animates. My man just came to me one day, a whole YouTube channel and like 5 animations on there. I was like, when did that come? When did that? So, me being an overcompensator that I am. I am the definition of overcompensating father. Like, I bought a whole gaming system for this guy.
Well, that's good though.
Shoved it in the room.
You invested in him.
Trust me, we're trying to set up, and then we set up the wrong way, and then we had to, like, but once again, I love what you said, exactly what I'm on board with, investing in my kid's future. I'm like, yo, I tell myself all the time, I'm like, animate. When you're sad, animate. When you're happy, animate. Whether your feelings are, animate. This is what you love to do, and you're not always going to love it, son. Some days it's going to feel like a drag, but do it anyway. Do you know why? Because you're going to be a big animator one day. I make his mind big. I was in the car, driving back from a party, and my daughter was like, you know, she likes fish and chip shop. They love the fat chips, right? And she was just like, one day I want to own my own store. And it made me feel so proud. And my mother-in-law was just like, I can't believe she said something like that so bad. And she started praying. Why do you want to own a fish shop? But no, just like praying, right? But what I've realized, because I've installed it in their minds, like, think bigger. Stop thinking. Because they would tell me like, oh, Dad, I want to go to chips. No, one day when you own it, I'll just use it subtly in my conversation. One day when you own one, you can have all the chips you want. It's like, oh, then I won't have to hire all the people.
That's the investment.
But that's the investment.
It's
So, investment.
mind.
So what I want to tell people out there, it's not that, forget, even if you're pissed upon, you're broke as a father, your purpose is still heavy. It's not the money that makes you a good father. The fact that the wording I use to my kids, I put in their mind, like, you need to own it. Own. It's this go-to. So, my son didn't like the animation film, like, I want to build my own. Yes.
Yeah.
I need to think bigger than that. So when you wake up and you see, I'll show my new book. It's like, you read another book? Yeah, I did. Oh, you're on TV? Yeah, I am. Oh, you're doing this? Oh, yeah, I am. He's like, can I do it one day? Of course you can. That's the power of setting an example.
No, facts.
When you just don't chat, you set the example. So when they grow up, they see like, no, watch my dad get money. What are you talking about? That's the least you can do.
Yeah, that's the least you can do. Yeah.
So and I also I will say things subliminally like, when you finish uni, we'll do that. Because I know if they don't want to go uni, I'm not gonna fight it.
Yeah.
But I want it, so I'm gonna start intercepting from now. I'm just like, yeah, when you finish uni, I've got a couple bands waiting for you. It's no problem. When you finish uni, you can access your trust fund. It's not a problem. Just finish you. But this is me hoping. But if you don't want, cool. But you got to have a plan for me.
Yeah.
I need a plan, a business plan.
Yeah.
Give me a business plan or application
Teaching him
form to uni.
direction, you know?
Right, and this is what I've said as fathers, demonstrate, man. Don't just do lip service. Demonstrate. Show them the discipline you're talking to them about.
You're the leader.
You're the leader.
Lead by
Kids
example.
will watch what you do, know what you say. You can chat. My dad and all these used to chat for time, but I didn't see it. So I followed the man outside.
Louder than words aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's why when I went outside, the man in the hood had the Avirex on, the chains. Bruv, they were demonstrating all the stuff my dad's talking about.
Right, yeah.
So I'm listening to him. Because he's got the girls around him, he's lit, he's got the respect. So I'm like, bro, but Dad, you're saying go to school, blah, blah, blah. But my man's demonstrating all the
But no,
success
but
you're
yeah,
saying.
that's what's happening
That's what's happening outside.
Facts.
So when I go outside, all you doctors ain't getting the gal. I don't see you baddies
that's
round.
facts. That is facts.
You working at the bank, I don't see you baddies round. You bad your
So
woman is
facts.
shining at you in
Them
public.
doctors got the grandmas now, though.
Yeah, no, they do.
But then what happens was, the man them in the hood, the drug dealers, the pushers pull up, and life is different. The level is different. Do you understand? I remember the first time I went to my man's house. He lived in a penthouse. I'm looking around like, I ain't seen no doctor own this. But this is why as fathers,
It's a pharmacist, though.
right? It's a pharmacist, right?
Pharmacist,
So But it's important because I'm like, fathers, we have to demonstrate the lessons we're talking about. Your kids need to see it in real time. Because if they start seeing it in other people, they'll idolize them over you.
Yeah,
they
that's
can't
the
see in
problem.
other people.
You
Guys,
don't want to be there.
Sorry,
You don't want to be there.
Sorry,
So my biggest fear
Yeah,
is
go on.
that I don't want my son to look at who the new TikTok
You
or
don't
YouTube
wanna
is.
be there.
I tell my son all the time, I'm like, I'm the coolest person you know. I know what you're talking about.
This is what I'm saying.
You understand? That's why I do these things. I'm like, bro,
Bro.
your dad's on TV. What
Bro,
you
please
talking about?
highlight-
I'm not doing this,
Yeah.
bro.
Bro,
I have to demonstrate. 'Cause I need my son to understand.
That is very key.
Not look at anyone else.
That is
I am
very
that
key.
nigga, but I have to demonstrate.
Sorry, last thing I'm gonna say is a wise old man told me this when I was just about to be a father, and I was just like, oh my god, I'm having a kid. And he's like, bro, do you know what it is? Do you know what you have to be? You have to be your kid's hero.
Yeah.
You have to be the
I crave
superhero.
it. My insecurity is crazy.
The reason why you have to be that superhero,
My insecurity is crazy.
because the moment your child, again, your child is gonna have many heroes throughout their life. For example, like I said, my kid like football. So
Yeah,
certain
yeah,
football
yeah,
guys,
yeah.
you can't play better than Van Dijk, Dad. As much as you're
right, Dad.
But what it is and again, not to sound obnoxious or whatnot is, but I'm your God. I'm your generator, operator, and destroyer. I bring things into your life. I make sure they're patterned, and if you get on my nerves, I will destroy them. Do you get me? I am your God. Your child has to see you as God. Do you get me? To a certain degree. Let me say,
Wait,
there's only one
listen,
God.
listen,
There's only one
listen.
I
God.
like that. Don't hold
I
back.
get what you mean.
No,
I get
but
what
you know what I mean?
But let's add context because
Yeah, please.
we got to add context because we get what you're saying. It's true. And I mean, like, let me say public, I agree.
Please.
But what we're saying contextually is like, back to the hero thing. I love that concept. It's like, yo, being a hero to him puts you in a position where your word overrides what he's dealing with in society.
Facts.
And that's what you need, because if you let these kids go outside, I've been outside. My mom can say what she wants.
Most of us ain't got heroes.
But
Who's
we
our
got
heroes?
heroes. When we're outside, these
The man
drug
them.
dealers are man's hero, bro. Because I ain't seen no one with the swag, the source, the respect that we all.
He ain't surviving like
Facts.
that.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So this is why I'm like, I thrive to be everything, because I realize, like, my son doesn't understand how I do everything. He's like, but you're writing a book, you're doing this. I'm like, yes, I need you to understand anything is possible. Get your head out of the concept that you can only do one thing at a time. You can do anything and everything, but I have to demonstrate it. Because when I'm demonstrating, I'm like, bro, when I tell you it's law, not because I'm forcing on you, because like I know my dad do that. Like I know he does that. Yeah, I need that. Because to me, when the man them in the ends, the top boys in the ends were telling us something, we fell in line. Why? Because we know like, oh yeah, he will punch you and stab you and kill you. So don't play. So we know as a man that your word needs to be as heavy as hell. But the only way your word is going to be that is if you demonstrate everything you're saying. If you're an example of what you're talking about, oh, it's a different situation. Because what will always happen, someone else will come who's doing it big, and they're gonna be like, but his life is everything I've been told at home.
Facts.
So he must know something. And that's the danger, because we don't know if that man's teaching him good values the way you are. You're teaching us some real values. He may not. You're like, yeah, man, F these hoes in America. That's what the drug dealers did to me. They didn't treat me, they're like, women ain't nothing. Don't respect nobody.
You being a sweep.
Yeah, understand what I'm saying? So now we're all toxic, because once
You
again,
have to unlearn that as
we
well.
have to
Yeah,
unlearn
you do,
that.
you do.
So that's why I'm like, nah, bro.
It takes time as well.
Literally every day I'm like, how can I be Superman today to these kids? Because I need them to see me as that, because that's important. So when I'm telling my daughter, like, listen, this guy's a bum, I want to be like, yeah, I feel you. You've never seen your dad be a bum, so yeah, I feel, man.
Facts. Yeah.
So the way you getting this craving for bums from, you understand what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying.
I want
like,
something different.
yeah,
But I hear you.
I don't know house, but yeah, you know what I'm saying. So yeah, my
Why for that?
so what I've learned, I'm gonna wrap up before we go to the next segment. But what I've learned is that you know,
I'm not sure if I gave my little.
no, because when we do this,
Run for-
because we're gonna have to run through it. But you know, because you know how it is when we're having these amazing because we do this off camera, guys. We have these amazing deep conversations anyway.
We're gonna
But you did
Yeah.
speak about fatherhood first, though. Just for the
Yeah,
record.
yeah, exactly. So fatherhood, you know, what I've learned, because we're gonna do Ask a Man segment. You know, I love that Ask a Man segment. But what I've learned is that, you know, something that you've taught me today, Rich, is that being conscious of that child, you're not the only person in their life.
Yeah,
You know, and it's going to take more than just you. And I think that's very, very powerful, because as guys, we're like, no, it's my son, it's my project.
Yeah.
But actually, no, it's the community project.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? It's everybody in it. If you're a good father, you facilitate these projects.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And I love the fact that you said that, because it's true. Because every day, like even when I come home late and they're sleeping, I still kiss them, hug them and stuff like that, because I realize I want to show my kids enough affection so they understand it. You know what I mean? My son don't like it when I do it publicly. Behind closed doors, he's on it. But in publicly, you know, he ain't on it. And I'm like, do I really care?
Because
Not
he's
really.
grown his ego.
Don't care
That's
about your
growing.
ego. You
Yeah, that's why
you
you showing him. He's
I
like,
don't care about you.
Bro, that's what you got to
But
do.
he needs to see that.
You won't get this hug whether
No,
you
no,
like
that's
it or
what
not.
you
It's
need
on
to see.
site.
That's
This
what
hug is on site.
That it might be like icking
Yeah.
him now, but there's gonna be a point in this
Bruv,
situation.
my dad never hugged me.
I tell my
I've
son all
got
the
that.
time.
When the world turns
I
around,
don't
and
know when my
shows
dad
you
hugged
this,
me.
you
Did
know
my
what I
dad
mean?
even hug me?
Bro, I don't
I don't even know.
But what I realize is that, bro, I tell my son that
That
hug
was
is
my
on site.
dad, bro. So
My daughter is the same thing.
Do you get
My
me?
daughter, my strategy in my head was like, I'm gonna spoil this girl so much that the standard in her taste is gonna be beyond all the bumps available. That's just what I'm thinking. I'm like, yeah, because whatever you
Yeah.
want, your father can provide. It's not a
Yeah,
problem.
so
It's
you
not an
ain't got
issue.
no- yeah.
So if a man comes, next week,
Try to get
I beg
that.
you borrow me money. Tell that nigga he a bum and
Yeah.
walk the fuck off.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
You understand? Because the reality of it is, we have to start exemplifying what we want the future to look at.
Right.
So it means that my children love their mom. So how I treat her is gonna matter to my position in their life. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. So that's what I've learned today. And I think even what you said about how it built emotional intelligence having a daughter, I think a lot of men can relate to that. You know what I'm saying? And how you start to look at just the whole concept of, all right, you know what? I can't be after. It pulled on that heartstring. So
Yeah, no, it does.
it pulls on the heartstring, guys. So our next section, the lovely Miss Scarlett. Been waiting patiently.
Scarlett.
God is like, I'm out. You guys fathers her?
No, but she raised my dad.
Oh, is it?
Big up to him. You know what I'm saying?
Come on,
Yeah.
big up,
That's
daddy.
good. That's good.
He raised 2 girls, bro.
Oh,
Is
it's no.
it?
Without no shotgun in the house, without no nothing.
He
'Cause I
definitely had
straps
that
for
somewhere, bro. Don't worry. He
me. He had a couple man he can call.
He had that, yeah. If
That's
he
good,
didn't
that
have
makes
it,
sense.
he had someone who had it, bro.
That's someone like, if he had
Right
it,
around.
You know what's so
One phone
crazy
call
though?
away.
with Scarlett, not to put you in the spotlight, but that's surprising to me because that whole feminine element is very present in the way you do things and the way you carry yourself. So you would think subconsciously,
That she didn't have
a woman growing up with a man, she's gonna be very boisterous or tomboyish. But what you tend to
Yeah.
find out from my own personal experience is that those women are usually generally more feminine, based upon they kind of understand what a man wants and how a man is. So not to say that they're accepting of bull BS that a man provides, but it's more of understanding.
Gotcha.
Oh, a man likes when a woman does this. Oh, a man likes when this is done. Or maybe let me approach this differently. From my own experiences, women that grow up with their fathers as their main primary carer, they generally have a very more easier approach from a guy's perspective.
But
That's my own experience.
I didn't know that, you know. I wish you told me
Statistically,
that.
go on Google this. Go on Google this. I don't know how true it is or not, but go Google this. When the male single parents do a lot better in certain areas.
Yeah.
Certain areas, not all across the board,
Mm-hmm,
just in certain areas because we deal with structure, we like things a certain way.
That's a good point.
We teach how to get things done
Yeah,
and
yeah,
so
yeah.
forth.
And
We
society
need
is
less-
built on structure.
And society is built on structure.
The society
but,
is built on structure. So if you
but the
learn
only
that-
time it goes wrong is when the men don't add the affection to it.
Yeah, that affection.
You gotta add
is
the
very
affection to it. So when you're doing it, it's got
When
to
he
be
lacks the
affection.
emotional intelligence.
When you like the
Yeah.
emotion, it could be. I can understand that.
But having a daughter will that will force it out of you.
Yeah, it's supposed to if you take on the job.
If you
Yeah.
take on a job,
You take
or-
on
It's
the
not a given.
responsibility.
being a father is a job.
It's a job. Yeah.
Go on,
So
go on.
what's
I just
the
have
first
to add that
question?
one there.
Ugh, which one do I go with?
We'll do 2 strong ones. We'll do 2 strong ones.
Yeah.
What makes you ghost someone?
Hey.
What makes you go somewhere?
Me ghost someone. Okay, so that goes back to the whole concept of cutting someone off. I think I personally, I'm at a different stage in my life. I wouldn't ghost somebody now because I feel like communication is key. But if I look back at my previous things, it was just not dealing with a difficult conversation. It's
So
literally
that, it's not even like no extra.
There's no. It's just,
Nah, I don't want
it's-
to deal with difficult conversations.
maybe I'm dating a girl and
She showed that she's rude or loud. It's like,
and
why would I want to go get into an argument?
there's certain
with someone that
personality
rude?
traits that I wasn't really attracted to, and then I just kind of had to distance myself from that. And then, or I've tried to explain something to them before, and they're like, no, like, is this hitting like a what do they call it?
So basically, what I would
Yeah,
like to say,
brick
to,
wall, yeah,
what I'll
it's
say
like
to
hitting a
people is
brick wall.
basically saying that we know that ghosting's wrong off the top. Let's
Yeah,
start
no,
there.
no, let's do.
We don't condone that. Let's just start there.
Yeah,
but
let's
what we're
not
saying
do
is that a lot of ghosting happens because the man finds you a difficult person. And they're like, why am I dealing with a difficult person when I don't need to?
I think it's
We're
about
not-
being
I'm not in love with
uncomfortable.
you. We're not connected.
Yeah,
We have no ties.
No lack of
Why am I
connection.
going to make my life difficult?
I think ghosting happens because you're not listening. That's what.
That's true as well.
I think
Men-
you're
men
not.
will
I think that one was easy.
Yeah, you're not acting upon what
Thank
you're
you. We need
hearing,
an easy one.
and so now my word has no weight.
No value. That's another thing.
Situation.
Perspective as
So
well.
I'll go with my.
And again,
someone
I just
else.
think also as well, like again, maybe there's guys that they might be in a situation and they've found themselves in another situation and then unable to communicate with the person the real, or they're literally confused. I think ghosting is all to do with being unable to communicate. So the best way to do it is avoid the conversation.
Yeah,
That's what the
I think
Love
ghosting
that.
happens through
Next
lack
one.
of communication.
Next one, I love that. They can't communicate, so they got you. That makes sense.
Next one. What are your green flags in a woman?
That's nice because we always hear red flags.
Okay,
Well,
cool.
we did that one last.
But we did the
last week.
What gets in your feels about them. So I don't know if that's similar.
It's kind of similar.
It's kind of similar. So this
Okay.
one that.
Do you rate each other's girls in the group chat?
100%.
Rate is a strong word.
What do you mean? The girls do the same thing
Girls
too.
do the
So
same
let's
thing.
not pretend that.
No,
we do.
but rate is a
We
strong
do.
No,
word.
what we're saying is rate is like, okay.
But I think the question really
you love
is
with a
how
girl.
do we rate?
No, you're in love with a girl, yeah?
Maybe.
And you bring her around for first time. Oh, bro, this is the girl I'm with, and blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. Bro, we got to discuss it.
Yeah.
You know what you mean? If you don't rate
It's
her,
so
we-
weird. I grew up because again, when I was growing up, I was doing this gang thing, and I'll never forget. This thing stuck with me for life, even to now. One guy, I introduced him to a girl. She was a bit friendly with everybody. She had a bit of history and whatever. So then he brought and said, "This is my girlfriend." I said to him, "What's this guy doing? This guy?" I said, I literally made a big deal. I was like, "Bro," what's the guy? I was like, "Ho, she a hoe, man." And I remember, I will never forget. One of my friends, he pulled me aside. I said, "Bro, what the fuck is that?" I said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Bro, that's his wifey, bro. You gotta respect that." I was like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, no matter what.
Again.
A man said that's my girl. You
When a
respect
man has presented to somebody to me as, this is my girl, this is my wifey, this is the person that I'm going to try and build my future with, I have to respect that. My opinion is irrelevant at that point.
It is.
If you're just telling me I met this girl and she's attractive, do you find her attractive and then I can give my opinion.
I
But
agree.
somebody now says,
Say that's
I've
my
made a
girl
decision,
officially.
He's at that
that's
level.
my
Bro,
girl.
we accept it.
Anything else you say after that, disrespect.
Yeah.
I learned that lesson straight away because I was
Yeah.
like, it's true.
true.
Because if the shoes
No
I've
matter.
ever fought and somebody said to me, your girl's a hoe, bro, we're fighting.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about?
On site.
Do you know what I'm
Straight.
saying?
No, you're right. You're
So
right.
I've always like that.
No, I learned that it's true. If, the minute he's already made up his mind that that's his girl, back the fuck up.
Yeah.
But if he said I just met her or whatever, we can discuss it.
Yeah.
We can discuss about, like, what do you think, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But if that's your girl, that's you're going to do some madness outside, I'm finna tell you, though. If you're my brother, I'm finna
No,
tell
no,
you.
no.
And my
Truth
guy,
has to
I
be-
was
No,
outside.
as in, if your girl
It
did
has to
something
be
crazy.
Like, so my boy
No,
says,
no, no, no.
my boy says my wifey.
Everything I know up until this point has to be declared.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, wherever you want to go
Facts.
is your.
It's
so
like
weird.
you got a girl around.
But I can't know something about your girl.
Yo, and not tell you.
And not tell you, bro.
Okay, yeah, when
So
you
there
put it
was
like
my
that,
loyalty.
yeah, that's
That's
it's
low.
a weird one.
No, it's not, because the reality of it is, it's like, yo, something that Rich just said, it's like, yo, everything up to now, I gotta tell you. Everything beyond that is disrespect.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, because I can tell to like, bro, I was with her, or I saw blah, blah,
Yeah,
or blah, blah.
or my
So,
guy
you know,
was-
because imagine you
So
found out
weird.
10 years at the
Can't,
relation
as
that
far
I
as I'm
was with the
concerned,
girl.
this-
You're like,
you can't be the, as my boy, you can't be the last one to know.
yeah, you can't be last one. I'm gonna tell you off top.
It's not running like that, bro.
Now, moving
not running
forward, you might tell me, the guy might say that, I don't want to hear nothing. I respect it. I don't want to hear
Yeah,
nothing.
that's what
Or
I'm
you
saying.
might be the
And
guy
you
that
can say
might,
whatever
no,
shit
bro,
you
so-
want to the rest of the
But at least you know.
after that. But
Because imagine you're at the altar about to marry this girl and you find out like two of your guys are smashed. That's something, you lot are fake friends. You didn't say
Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
So,
But bro, this is
Why you
my
got-
thing.
why you got-
This
I
is
can't
believe
jump
in
ahead
love.
and tell you, oh, rare. It depends on the relationship.
I believe love is stupid. I believe, like, bro.
I don't.
I believe it
definitely
is
don't believe
stupid.
love
I believe
Love
people
is
do
very
stupid
sensible.
things when they love.
No, I disagree.
Yeah,
Why do you
but
think so?
with that, again, we're human, so it's good. It's cool. We can have
Yeah,
different
that's what
opinions.
we're supposed to
But for me, it's like this. It's like I've been in situations where guys blatantly know that this girl has a history, but they don't care.
That's not love making you stupid. That is you being a love addict. There is a difference.
Yeah.
This is why I tell people, stop putting the blame on love. Stop it.
Yeah.
Put the blame on people.
Yeah. You're
Love ain't done nothing wrong.
You are
love
addicted
is
to
what's,
loving
love is the
that
last
individual.
love is the last line before we tear each other to pieces, by the way.
Yeah, love and hate is literally
Love is the
like,
last line before human beings go barbaric. So let's stop blaming our insecurities and our problems and struggles on love. No. People who don't know how to love properly make it toxic.
Yeah.
So if I'm picking a woman, forget her past, and I'm deciding that's what
Yeah,
I
I can't judge no one.
that's what I want to do.
'Cause I
Now
want
your
to judge on my
judgment
own.
could be, oh, she's a whole blah, blah, blah. But if that man said, you know what, but this is my girl, I love her, cool, nigga, you gotta respect the team. There's nothing else to talk
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
There's nothing else to talk
But
about.
I get what you mean. If you had some sort of information that
I
you
got to tell you, bro.
But again, It's a
I
weird
can't
one.
make you reach that situation.
Yeah.
And then tell you.
Yeah, I got.
But I'm already in that situation. Imagine I've been dating this girl
Yeah.
for 8 months. Me and her, we've done so much. We've gone around the world. We've got history together now. And I'm presented to her. She's in a different place. This is another thing. This is one thing that I've come to realize. People evolve. So I can't be judging you based upon the decisions you
What
made
you did,
prior.
yeah, of course.
It's almost hypocritical. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, so that means I'm never gonna trust you. If this person has told me their own thing, like, oh, you know what, back in the day, I was going through a time in my life where I was just a bit more open and da. No, it happens, bro. Everyone goes through this. Men
Guys,
and women.
Let me tell you something. That's just...
It happens, bro. I tell you.
No, I'm with you. Something you said that's important though. You know, was that it's true you can't judge someone in their past really and truly. You can miss out on so much, but you better factor that in. You better factor it in.
It's a factor.
Because do not think if a woman's showing you that she can't have no temperance and discipline of herself, don't think it's going to come out thin air. You still have to take it on board. Because there's a reason. Because not everybody, you're assuming that person has changed already.
Yeah. You want to believe that.
You want to believe that.
Change never happens. That
So what I'm
Time
saying is...
reveals all, though. That's why...
Time reveals all, but what we're saying is...
people.
What we're just saying is that our job as your boys is to bring the information.
Yeah, and
so
then
you just have it.
Yeah.
Whatever you do with that afterwards,
bring the
we with
information.
you.
And
Yeah.
So even when you want to say,
spend that
when
time.
it's wedding time, nigga, we'll pull up and be on suit.
Yeah, no,
You
I get
understand?
it.
But as your bedroom, I have to say
I
something.
have to tell you.
I have to tell you that.
In your bedroom,
Then
if I
you
have
can
something-
say, I don't give a
Girl,
fuck. I'm nigga, you don't give a fuck, I don't give a fuck. Let's rock and roll, bro.
Let's see what time.
Let's see what it is.
One more wild one.
Quick one.
One wild one.
Oh.
Squeeze one more in it. Just quick one. We got 5 minutes.
Wasn't anticipating that.
I thought that was going to go longer.
Do you choose looks over personality?
For what reason? Does it in general?
Yeah.
No, bro.
At first.
For a relationship,
As I've got
personality.
No, personality always, man.
Personality.
Personality. You know what? I think
Bro,
But-
the first time you come across that girl.
Ugly rubbish.
No, bro.
I've
The
seen
first
your
time
girl.
you
Your girl's
come
not
across
ugly.
that girl with that boom
My
personality, you realise that there's nothing.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie to you. Boom personality and your ugly ain't gonna work for me.
Bro, if you put some saying, what are you talking about?
No, but you can't tell me that a
Hey,
boom personality
man,
hasn't made
girl.
a thing that's kind of.
Nah, bro.
You
You
know
ugly,
what I mean?
dog.
Bro, I'll be real. Them girls are...
Nah, there's been some girls that
Then you
I,
ugly.
if I just looked at her, I would have been like,
Bro.
nah. But her personality just made it be like.
I get
know
you.
what?
No, I get you.
Nothing to her.
Can you entertain an ugly girl?
Yeah, of course. I can.
Because
You had to think about that, though.
No, I did.
You had to pause.
That
No,
pause.
but I could.
Men,
Because if
men,
her
are,
personality-
men generally can
if her
entertain ugly
personality was
girls.
form and she
Oh, we
was
can
ugly-
take anything.
We can, yeah, bro. We can entertain.
If she was, bro, if she was ugly, but she had a personality,
I don't care.
tell me you can't.
I don't care.
But you won't invest.
You gotta be attractive. I don't care. I need that attraction.
But
All that attraction.
essentially, yeah. The
I need that
fundamentals
attraction.
is as a man,
I get-
I need sexual stimulation.
Dude, that's a friend. As far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, that's a friend.
It's a friend.
We got a lot of friends that got
We got a
great
lot of friends,
personality.
great
Oh shit, you
personality.
know what?
Never
That's-
mind.
I know why.
No,
You
you know
gotta
what
do
you
it.
just discovered?
What?
How men friend zone women. We don't talk about that, but that's actually how.
Don't look like a friend zone you if I don't really attracted to you.
No, because guys will still hit girls that they're not attracted to like that.
I don't know about.
We're
it.
saying
I don't
anything.
know what
Guys,
you're talking about.
we
No, but
I'm not that guy.
Yo, but look what you said.
We're not talking about you.
That's why you. But what I'm saying,
I'm
look
not that
what
guy.
you just said.
I'm not gonna.
If you're ugly but you got good personality, I might find you attractive after that. I'm like, man, nigga, if you're ugly, that's what it is.
You've already put in a category. Well, like I said, as human beings, we go through life putting people in different categories.
Yeah.
But
So
Joe,
that's
bring it home for us.
So yeah, so what I love this conversation. This episode's been amazing. What we've learned about fatherhood, we've learned about what we pick as far as what entertains a female in terms of like what we use as markers to take them seriously. And the reality of it is what we've come round to is like, look, we know that everyone's individuals, but what we're hoping is that from this conversation you get to understand the kind of nuances surrounding how men who are fathers, how we've looked at it and what we've dealt with, and hopefully that means something. And most importantly, keep it real, be transparent. Do you understand? Don't think someone's past dictates their future. That's not true. And think about everything. Like I said earlier, use all your faculties. Don't let the vagina sway you. Don't let her personality sway you. Use everything you have to make the assessment. But ultimately, as Buzz said, time will tell.
Time will tell.
So peace out. We out. But another great episode from the In His Mind podcast. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you,
Humble.
Scarlett, for being down again. And we'll be back again on your screen shortly. And we'll be coming with all the real conversations. The real
Yeah.
What is on his mind?
For real.
What's up?
Bless.